Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by lineups.com. Nate and Josh coming to you with some player props in this episode. We also have a best bets episode for the 2 games here on Thursday night that we recorded. So make sure you do check that out on the channel and subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes. We're bringing you each and every weekday. Got both of these for you each and every weekday, like I said, all the way through those playoffs. Let's get into the first look that you have here for a player prop, Nate, on the Thunder in that game against the Pacers with Cason Wallace, who is questionable. He seems like the most likely of the questionables to play, though, for them.
Yeah, I would think he wants to go here, considering, part of the reason I'm backing him to score is he's been talking about how much he worked on his offensive game all offseason and looked really good in the opener, right? 14, 7, and 5, hit 3 threes. So to get a plus number, if he does go, I think it's worth sprinkling on this plus number for the 2 threes because the Thunder are going to need somebody to score other than Shea. I mean, they got no J-Dub, no Caruso, maybe no Dort as well, who's usually hoisting those threes. And I mean, Cason is at 9.5 points, I think, for plus money as well, or 8.5 juice to the over. I just think he's going to have to take on that bigger mantle. And it's a much better matchup than against Houston, for sure, for guards. This Pacers backcourt not scaring you too much, especially the way they shade towards SGA. His last 5 without Jalen Williams, 12.4 points per game on 60 and 55% splits. So, I mean, he was already getting the open looks from Shea, from teams collapsing on him. He's a career 39% shooter from 3. And I mean, his last time out against the Pacers in the regular season, 14 points in 30 minutes, 2 for 4 from 3. So clearly Dagnall wants him out there for the 30 minutes. He played 42 in the opener, which I think is why he's questionable. It's sort of like a maintenance check as far as like, a little knee sprain, a little knee tendonitis, perhaps, after playing that many minutes. But he's a young guy, and he should be good to go.
I mean, if he is great, then I'm with it. Like, he's going to play a ton if he goes, if he's capable of playing a ton. We saw the 42 in double OT, but yeah, this is still going to be at like 34 because if you don't have Caruso and you don't have Lou Dort, you just got considerably worse at perimeter defense. Aaron Wiggins is not like a liability, but if he's your next option as a guard to come in and play alongside SGA, like you're going to have Cason Wallace out there for the majority of the game. 34 sounds light. Like I'd have him at 36 if he was a full go and everybody else who's out is out, especially if Dort, who looks like he's going to sit, doesn't play. Then the defense needs him there. And I would fully agree with that he's going to always see the easiest matchup on the floor with SGA getting them hard. Nesmith not on J-Dub, obviously, but Nesmith, I think, actually ends up on like Chet at this point. I think he's, just put him on your next best offensive player because they don't have J-Dub, which is where Nesmith would have gone. But let me get over to that other game real quick and talk about Christian Braun. Come on, man. Like, he averaged 22 and a half of these last year. Michael Porter Jr. is not around. Cam Johnson's a very fine player. I love that trade. Don't get me wrong. Cam Johnson's not commanding shot attempts the way that that Michael Porter Jr. was, and Christian Braun is that dude now. Like this is another leap in my opinion, and it's not like he got way better from year 1 to year 2, and then we got 22.5 PRA per game. Now we're talking about year 2 to year 3, where it's like now he's like a professional. Now he's like he's a champion. He's not worried about stuff. He's gonna be that guy for them as like. Basically, whenever Jamal Murray's out, I really see him as the second option for Jokic, running back cuts, playing in transition. Aaron Gordon's still going to be there, but he might have plenty of games at like 25 minutes. That's the other thing here is like Aaron Gordon. We saw the way that they started to use him in the playoffs last year, and I think that's going to be something that is brought to the regular season a bit more with those knees for Aaron Gordon and everything. I don't think they want him catching as many lobs as he has in his career. He's going to be a better shooter this year in general, which is why I also like keeping the assists in there for Christian Braun because I just think he's going to soak up a ton of usage at this point. And if you look at the situations last season when he was on court without Jamal Murray and with Jokic and with Aaron Gordon, this dude was basically at like 15, 6, and 3 or 6 and 2 in terms of the boards and the 2 dimes. Like, he was at about 24 PRA per like 32 minutes. Yeah, I'm a huge Christian Braun guy this season. Also someone that I missed that was a target on that fantasy squad.
Yeah, I mean, he's not somebody who's going to not benefit from more good players coming onto the roster, right? I mean, he's just going to get in where he fits in. He piles up off back cuts in transition. And Cam Johnson's been pretty vocal about just saying like, I kind of need some time here to like adjust to my new surroundings. And I don't think he's going to be a guy, like you said, to come out game 1 and hoist a ton of shots. So I think the usage will still be there for Brown. So the Pacers are likely to start this man, Isaiah
I love
Jackson, who
this.
basically missed all of last season with an Achilles tear.
He did.
In 5 games, he was on a pretty good rate in terms of his
Yeah.
rebounding. I mean, 5.6 rebounds per game, 12 per 36 minutes. And now he's getting, I don't expect him to play 36. Jay Huff is going to mix in there. I don't know how well he's going to hold up defensively against this Thunder team, Jay Huff. And Isaiah Jackson is a very good defender, a very good rim protector. The Pacers clearly believe in him. They extended him for 3 years. So I think it's going to be his role over Huff for now in the absence of Miles Turner. His last 5 opportunities without Turner, he averaged 10.2 points, 7.2 rebounds in just 24 minutes. He came off the bench in 2 of those behind Jalen Smith, who's not in the picture. And as a starter 2 years ago when he was healthy, 7.7 rebounds per game, again, in 28 minutes. So I think we can project him around there. But boards are going to be easier to come by here with OKC struggling offensively. That was not pretty in their opener. They're still missing a bunch of guys, like we're saying. And I mean, for what it's worth, he had 3 boards in just 12 minutes in a preseason matchup against OKC. He's just, when you bet on rebounds, you want a guy who's just going to be a superior option to the rest of the team. And I don't think there's another truly elite rebounder here on the Pacers to go in there and mix it up.
It's a really good point. Yeah. It's kind of why I want to target Benedict Mathurin rebounds. They're at 6.5. That's how much help they need rebounding. That's why I do like taking centers against this Pacers squad once again this season. But I love Isaiah Jackson, Summer League All-Star, before he could really get in on and crack the top 10 rotation for this Pacers squad. But they've been priming him, and then he had a devastating injury that sucked to watch because it was going to be a big Isaiah Jackson season last year where people who didn't know him and the casuals were about to learn his name. But let me get over to Jonathan Kuminga. I talked about him in Best Bets on the other episode a bit as someone who is going to be key for the Dubs' ability to cover against the potentially and likely hobbled Nuggets tonight. Another reason, by the way, to like Christian Brown at 20.5 PRA when he's likely going to be playing as a second guy. But for Kuminga, he started over Horford. That was the biggest news to me out of the first game for Golden State in LA, was that Kuminga not only started, but like everything over the summer has been like passive aggressive back and forth through the media between Kuminga and Kerr and Lacob and like he just put his money where his mouth was, man. He put his game where his mouth was in this last game. And all it was assisting and rebounding. That is what was the difference, right? Because he's allowed to take open spot up jump shots. He's allowed to go out into transition and just go at the rim and get to the free throw line without waiting for teammates to catch up in the break. He doesn't need to. Steph and Draymond are like, you got this, young buck. And I think that's what they've been waiting for. Brandon Pajemski, love you, man. Great kid, right? Team player, all that. You're not the future of this team if they're serious about having an all-star that's going to carry them into the next level. And if he is going to do that this year, it's going to be because he also has the ball in his hands more. His touches per minute went up from like 0.2 from last season up to about 0.6 in that first game. So he's touching the ball a lot more, even with Jimmy Butler there, who also took a ton of shots. But Steph was the one who took fewer shots in that last game. I think it was also partly a look ahead to this game. I don't think they fear the Lakers, especially without LeBron James. I know they don't. And now when you talk about the Nuggets, I think that there's obviously more than respect in that room. This is going to be where Steph might be taking over a little bit more. Kuminga points, I don't think they're going to stop him. I think he's allowed to go do his thing, but they're grading him on his RA. And he showed that by having 7 at the half last game. And I think that's going to continue, especially in the boards where he should be better. And I think he's finally going to be better.
Yeah, that's a real good angle from our former Warriors beat reporter here, who knows exactly what Kuminga's trying to do, what he's trying to prove. Interesting that they didn't start Horford against the Lakers, kind of a disrespect against DeAndre Ayton. I think Horford will play more against Jokic, if assuming Jokic is out there. But I think both Horford and Draymond are just going to be putting a body on Jokic and not trying to that rebound, right? I think the rebounds are a great look for both Kuminga and Jimmy Butler. We're going to swoop in, but Kuminga in particular, he's one of those dudes who are so athletic, like Blake Griffin in your prime. It's like, why do you not have 14 rebounds every game? Like you can grab the top of the backboard, like just go get it.
Yeah, and I was watching Blake Griffin on the Pistons highlights the other day, and he figured it out later in his career. I think Kuminga is getting there with that now. I like all the points that you made about the rebounding too. Draymond Green definitely going to be busy with Jokic. I think Butler's helping off a bit and to come help onto Jokic. And I think it's hilarious that Draymond and Al Horford probably both went to Steve Kerr before the Lakers game and were like, hey, bro, like it's DeAndre Ayton. Just let me sit out a little bit longer. I'm old and tired. Draymond's got this. And Draymond was like, yeah, I got this. So anyway, that is all the time time we have for you in the player props episode. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel because we've got best bets up. We're also going to have some NFL stuff for you on the channel here with some pick six. So definitely want to check that stuff out as well. Until we see you next, happy betting.